Hey everyone, I'm Chelsea. Welcome to my porch. I am so happy to be back here after the start of the new year. I'm feeling well and healthy, and I'm ready to talk about some perfume with you guys. I have pulled a basket here of perfumes from my collection that I think are perfect for Valentine's Day. I have some ambery musky, I have some sweet rose, some deep rose, some girly and flirty and romantic perfumes. So let's just get right into it. Okay, I have to start the list off with my most worn perfume in January so far, and that is Burberry Her, the Elixir version. I know that they have recently released a new Burberry Her Intense, and it's very strong on the strawberry and ambroxan, but this one is still my favorite in the Burberry Her line. What I really get from it are these sweet berries, really creamy, almost marshmallowy berry experience. There's no marshmallow listed in the notes. It's I think strawberry, wild berries, definitely a touch of jasmine, and vanilla and a little hint of amber, but really it's like a creamy berry experience that's a little marshmallowy, like I said, but no marshmallow listed in the notes. And I have to say, my husband bought this one for me because he loves it, and every guy that I know who has smelled this perfume has loved it. So I have so many friends whose husbands have bought them this specific Burberry Her, the Burberry Her Elixir. So I think it is perfect for Valentine's Day. It's really girly, it's flirty, creamy and sweet, and yeah, perfect for the holiday of love. My next one is new to my collection, and it took me forever to even want to try this perfume or even this fragrance house, because I thought they were way overhyped probably, but the bottle is $22. So I thought, you know what? It's really low risk. I'm gonna buy it, and I love it. I think the hype is so real on this one, and that is Qissa Delicious by, oh, is it Paris Corner? Paris Corner, okay, which I think also might be part of Aroma Concepts. This one is super fun, and if you're a fan of the new Kayalı Yum Boujee Marshmallow, the marshmallow note in this one is the same to me. Yeah, the texture of this perfume is the same texture that I get from the Yum Boujee Marshmallow 81. But the differences are, instead of strawberry, like in the Kayalı one, it's a dark chocolate and orange. So in the very beginning, I really do get this like chocolatey orange experience, kind of like those treats. I can't think of the name of them right now, but they were like these chocolate orange sticks. I used to love them when I was little. I haven't had them in years, but I kind of am reminded of those. Just this dark chocolate orange with this really fluffy marshmallow, and there's a hint, just a touch of coconut in there, and vanilla and white musk. This one really is worth the hype. Qissa Delicious, it was $22. I think it's super yummy. I think it's flirty, and I think it's perfect for Valentine's Day. I also ordered her sister Qissa Pink, and she might have usurped Yara. So I almost included her on this list, but I'm saving her for a different video. So Qissa Delicious for Valentine's Day, but also I think Qissa Pink or Yara would be great too. Okay, if you want a perfume that is flirty and romantic and sweet, then I have to recommend Ralph Lauren's Beyond Romance. So it's the flanker to Romance. It's the one in the frosted bottle. And this one has a really prominent top note of raspberry. It has a really, really pretty vanilla and musk. And there's a touch of rose in this perfume. So it's a really romantic perfume. It's that raspberry, that rose, that vanilla, a little bit of musk. And I get complimented on this one. It's one of my most complimented fragrances that I like to wear in the winter. So this one is really girly. It's flirty, it's romantic, it's candy-like too. I always crave this perfume around Halloween because I want that like raspberry candy feeling, and it just like floats around you in the prettiest way when it's cold outside. I have tried wearing this in the summer and I did not have the same scent experience with it. I liked it, but I didn't like love it the way that I do in the winter time in the cold air. Just the way that raspberry and rose and vanilla work together in the cold air is so good. It's so good. I love this one. Another one in the same vein that's like flirty, romantic, it's a rose, but this one's more sultry. I think even the bottle kind of represents the juice inside about how it's a little bit more of a sultry fragrance. It is Carolina Herrera's Very Good Girl. There she is. I used to really dislike these bottles. I used to think they were gaudy and tacky, but I love this perfume so much, and I have to shout out Jackie with Jack's Beautiful You because she sent it to me, and I have a major love for this perfume, so thank you so much, Jackie. But you know, the bottles have grown on me. It's kind of that thing where it's like, there's this boy in your life and he gets on your nerves and everything he does kind of drives you crazy. And then you have a class with him and you start to get to know him more and you start to hang out more after class, and then you start to like him, and then all those things that bothered you and annoyed you, you find really endearing. You're like, oh, I really like that about you now. That's kind of my relationship with the Good Girl bottles. It was like before I was like, yuck, I don't like those bottles. They're so tacky. And now I'm like, oh, you're so cute. I love you. This one gets compared to Delina. She is kind of like a cousin of Delina in a way. You get that juicy lychee rose combo that is also in Delina, but I much prefer this one because the vetiver at the base really adds this sultriness to it. I don't know, it just has a little spin on it that I prefer over Delina, even though I love Delina and I would have a bottle of her. I don't, and I'll tell you why, because I have another perfume I'm going to talk about. This one, I've said before, this is my Sleeping Beauty perfume. If Princess Aurora wore a perfume, she would wear this. I think she would probably choose a different bottle, but like I said, the bottles are growing on me. It's just like, you know, this fruity forest fruits, these deep forest fruits at the top combined with this velvety red rose, and then you have a smooth vanilla and a vetiver. It almost can be a touch smoky, but not in an overwhelming way. It's just like a touch of woodiness, a touch of smokiness there that makes this really sultry, like I said. I have to be careful about what words I choose to use in my videos because my kids watch them. So yeah, this one I think is perfect for Valentine's Day. And it's funny because I'm looking at all of my bottles and I think all of them, with the exception of, two are purple, most of them are pink, and then I have one that's red. So it's like they're all kind of the colors of Valentine's Day too, and that was unintentional. It just kind of was a fun coincidence that it happened that way. So yeah, Very Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. I love her. I have the hair mist, which also I would recommend, and I think that she's a great feminine, flirty, womanly fragrance to have in your collection. Okay, this next one I just kind of alluded to, and this is for your deep, vampy, I want to make a statement, I want to stand out, I want people to notice me. I am going to get the attention on Valentine's Day. This is Initio's Atomic Rose, which I also have just recently found out that they have this in a hair mist. And it smells just like the perfume. I tested it out when I was walking through Dillard's and I was blown away. I don't think, probably the lasting power isn't the same, but if this fragrance is just like out of your budget, I think the hair mist would be great. But also, I will say, go to Scent Split, order their 9 ml decants. That's what I started out with this perfume. They're anywhere from like $25 to $50. And then you have this fragrance in a much more affordable way, and it will last you forever because this is so potent. It is truly atomic rose. You only need a few sprays and it will last you into the next day. Anytime I wear this perfume, which I pretty much exclusively wear it for date nights, I will spray maybe 5 times, which is overspraying for this perfume, and I can smell it on me strongly the next day, and I will smell it on my clothes until I wash them. Like months later, I will pull out that dress or jacket or whatever I was wearing and I will smell atomic rose. So she truly is atomic. She's like Delina's older sister who everybody is intimidated by, and she wears a bright red lip every day and worn down leather jacket and these black tights and black stilettos, and I just always feel so womanly when I wear this perfume. She's deep, she's dark. She doesn't smell like Delina to me. I pick up so many differences. I love Delina and I would have Delina in my collection as a daytime perfume if my husband didn't think Delina smelled just like this in the air. So he loves Atomic Rose and bought this bottle for me. One day I was testing Delina and it was like 1 in the afternoon, and he came home and was like, "Why are you wearing Atomic Rose at 1 in the afternoon on a weekday?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Delina," but his nose reads them as the same fragrance. So that's why I don't have Delina, but I also would recommend Delina. And yeah, just get a little sample, just something to get you through these special occasions. And then if it's something that you really have fallen hard for and you want to add the bottle to your collection, then ask a special someone, a special loved one for it for Valentine's Day, Christmas, birthday, whatever. But yeah, Initio Atomic Rose, definitely my darkest, sultriest recommendation for Valentine's Day. Okay, one I would recommend if you're not into the florals, if you're not into the creamy berries or the deep roses, you just want something that is flirty and musky and a little bit gourmand, I would wholeheartedly recommend MAC's Crème D'Nude. This perfume is so affordable. I think I paid like $30 for this at the MAC counter, so not even on a discounter's website. And it is so good. It is really musky in a fluffy, cozy, caramel-y way. The musk comes from ambrette, which is muskmellow, and it's different than like a white musk or something like that. It's just this like fluffy, cozy, almost like tonka, caramel, vanilla. It has like this gourmand element to it, and then it's also mixed with gourmand notes. And then there's also a note of suede, which I think is what really makes this fragrance. So it's like a warm, fluffy musk with caramel and suede. And I can't remember the other notes off the top of my head, but that's really what I get from this perfume. It is really good. This is like a great, like, we're just gonna stay home, we're gonna hang out on the couch and watch movies, or friends are coming over and we're having a game night, and you don't want to be loud with your fragrance. Like, you don't want to be super floral, you don't want to be super candy sweet, but you want to be cozy and sweet and you know, flirty. MAC Crème D'Nude I think is great. The only thing I will say is this black part keeps falling off, and I need to get my I did glue dots and that didn't work, so I need to get my hot glue gun out and fix that. But I think value for money, this is a perfect fragrance, and it really does, it almost does smell like nude suede. Like, the color of the bottle I think is perfect. A perfect representation for the juice inside. These next two I have are travel sprays, and this one specifically I used to not get down with. I used to think it was too much. It was too much for me. It was too much orange blossom and it was too sweet, but now I love it. It has really grown on me, and I think it's a perfect Valentine's Day fragrance, and it has made its rounds for a few years now all over social media. It has gotten a lot of hype, and I understand why, and that's Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy. It took me a while to explore the House of Kilian and appreciate the House of Kilian, and now I love Kilian. It's one of my favorite fragrance houses. I think their DNA just really works with my skin chemistry. And this one I don't wear often because it is really super sweet. My kids actually really love it because of that. But it is good. It is romantic and flirty for sure. It is sweet, orange blossom, marshmallow. I know that there's like a made up note of civet. I know that you can't actually use the musk of an animal in a fragrance anymore. So they've like mimicked that in a lab and they've put that in here. And so it does have a little bit, it has something in it. It has something in it that's a little animalic that I think is what makes this really appealing. And it is a bomb of a perfume. So that's why my dent is so small, because I only do like 1 or 2 sprays and everybody can smell me. The kids follow my scent trail around the house. They think I smell just like candy, like Pez candy, in a really flowery way. And yeah, this one is great. I think it became famous because it was someone's, was it Beyonce's or Rihanna's or someone's signature scent? I don't know, I don't remember, but it is good, and I feel confident in recommending it now. I have really fallen in love with it. It's Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian. All right, this next one I also have in a travel spray. I want to upgrade to a full-size bottle. You can get the full-size bottles on FragranceNet for like $40. They're super affordable. Don't go to Belk or Dillard's or Ulta or wherever and pay $110 for the full bottle. Order off of FragranceNet and save a lot of money. For $40 for a bottle, I think it's great. And it was one of my favorite summer perfumes. And that is Viva La Juicy's Sucre. It's the flanker that looks like it's sitting in a cupcake wrapper and it's like drizzled in frosting. It's super cute. The bottle is super cute, and I don't know why I didn't just order the full-size bottle instead of buying a second travel spray of it. But this was one of my most worn summer perfumes. It's so girly. It is very sweet. It definitely has the Viva La Juicy DNA. It has the gardenia. It has a touch of what I pick up as honeysuckle. I'm not sure if honeysuckle is in the notes. But then it has this whipped sugar. It has this vanilla. It is made probably whipped cream. One second, let me see. The manicords are sweet vanilla, fruity, and lactonic. And yeah, it has mandarin orange, gardenia, almond cream, peach, orange blossom, jasmine, whipped cream, vanilla, cacao, sandalwood. It has all of these yummy notes, and I mostly get the gardenia, the orange blossom, and the whipped cream and vanilla. This smells like Viva La Juicy with a huge dose of sugar and whipped cream added. It's super yummy. I think that the bottle sitting in a cupcake is perfect for this perfume, and it reminds me of like just this sweet, cute girl who, you know, always dresses really girly and is, you know, nice to everyone, and everyone wants to be her friend because there's just like this magnetic energy to her. She's just warm and inviting and sweet, and you just feel good being around her. You know, she just makes you feel good about yourself. You're just drawn to her and how feminine and sweet she is. I think that is Viva La Juicy Sucre. Okay, this next one I want to talk about. I don't have my bottle yet, but it's on its way and I am so excited. I found a great price for it on one of the discounter websites, and I think I got it like $100 off. So it was under $100, and that is Montale's Lucky Candy. So I'll put a little picture of it. It's in this really cute matte pink bottle, I think is what it comes in. And this one really surprised me. I know that it made its rounds. I think it came out maybe this time last year. I just have never had success with Montale fragrances. They just come off so sharp and metallic, and which, you know, I wonder if they kind of have a metallic edge to them because they're in the metal bottles. But anyway, yeah, Montale has just not been a success for me personally as a house. So I just was hesitant to try this one, but I was walking through the mall one day and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick it up and try it. And it blew me away. It was not what I expected. It does not smell like candy. It is very floral, and I love floral perfumes, but it definitely has this marshmallowiness to it, and I think it does have a marshmallow note. But what I really get from it is the creamy frangipani flower, which I love in perfumes, and I get this marshmallowiness, vanilla, a little bit of musk. There are no sharp, rough edges to it like I get in other Montale and Mancera fragrances. It's smooth, it is floral but fluffy and creamy, and there's a little bit of this like dustiness to it in a way that's like kind of like makeup, if that makes sense. Like a powdery dustiness that reminds me of makeup. You know what it really reminds me of? And this is where the name could be appropriate. It reminds me of the Valentine's Day little conversation heart candies. How they're a little dusty on the outside and powdery, and then you bite into them and there's like this, it just doesn't taste like other candy. They are almost a little floral. So that's what this perfume kind of smells like to me. And I just love it. And it lasts and lasts. The few times I've tested it at the mall, I've sprayed my wrist and it's gotten on my like sleeve of my jacket. And I can smell that on my jacket for days afterward. And what I love about it is too, the way it smells on my wrist is the way it smells on the scent strip. So I have a bottle coming. I am so excited. I wish I had it for this video because it's a really pretty pink bottle. But yeah, the name is misleading. It doesn't smell like Lucky Candy unless maybe you're thinking of the Valentine's Conversation Hearts. I think really like a better name for it would be like Blushing Bride, because it is floral and it's a little cosmetic-y, you know, and its powderiness, kind of like blush might smell, and like a really nice blush. So yeah, I think it smells like something someone could wear on their wedding day easily, and it lasts for a long time on my skin. That's been my experience. So go online and look at the discounter websites. I ordered mine for like $77, so a great deal. I think the full bottle price is like $180 or something. So I am excited to add that one to my collection. Okay, I have one more that's like an honorable mention. This one's like a blast from the past, okay? I was in JCPenney recently and I was just, you know, walking through, picking things up, smelling them as I walked through. And they had the perfume that like had me in a chokehold all through college. And I don't think I've ever mentioned it on my channel, but it was one of my favorite perfumes. It was one that my sister-in-law, who's 10 years older, wore often, and I just thought she was like the coolest girl ever, and so I would wear it when I wasn't around her. It really smells like the 2000s, and I just had to get a bottle because I just needed it back in my collection, and that is Vera Wang's Princess. This one is so reminiscent of the 2000s. It has so many notes in it, so many obscure notes that are combined together. You know, I used to actually take the like neck of the bottle, see here. So it has this crown as the lid, and then I used to take this part, the collar, I guess, off, and I would wear it as like a ring. And I thought I was so cool doing that. What I have always picked up from this fragrance is like this aquatic water lily, and there's tiare flower, which my nose, I'm like a bloodhound when it comes to tiare flower in perfume, so I've always picked that up. chocolate, oh, guava. I do definitely pick up a little bit of the guava, and then vanilla. So I will say this does still smell so much like what I remember it smelling like in the 2000s, like the 2008, 2009, 2010. I saw it at JCPenney. It was like $60. But I know that like Ross and Burlington have it. So I went across the street to Burlington and got it for $25, I think. So for this big 3.4 ounce bottle, which is great. I think it's totally worth having back in my collection. The main difference is that it's not as rich as I remember it being. I used to love wearing this perfume in the winter because it had this richness to it. It like mingled with this aquatic, juicy, like water lily mixed with the tiare mixed with the guava. It's not as rich as I remember it being, but that could be because this is a new bottle. So I checked the batch code on this and looked it up online, and this is a fresh batch. It's like it was made like 2 months ago. And so it could just be that it's fresh juice. It needs to sit a little bit. Maybe it will get richer over time. I think that this one's a great affordable option. Still, if I were recommending like a chocolate, like a sweet chocolatey fragrance, then go with Qissa Delicious, and it's even less expensive. But I think Vera Wang Princess shouldn't be slept on. And if you were a fan of Princess back in the day, go back and give it a whiff and unlock some happy memories. This makes me think of being in college, wanting to smell like my older sister-in-law, who I thought and still do think is like the coolest girl ever. And you know, hanging out with my now husband in our dorms and walking around campus together. I went to New York City to interview for jobs because I was a journalism major, and this was the perfume that I packed, so it makes me think of New York. This had the best performance back in the day, and I think it still does. Like, I sprayed this on me a couple of days ago. I sprayed it in my room, and I can still smell it in my bedroom when I walk in. Like that, it is for sure still lingering. I sprayed it in my hair a couple of days ago, and I washed my hair this morning, and I could still smell it in my hair until I washed it. So I couldn't really smell it on my skin anymore, but definitely is still having great performance, at least to like fabric or hair that it's clinging to. So definitely worth checking out Vera Wang Princess. And look at how cute this bottle is. I think that I love this bottle. Oh my goodness, I almost got off of here and forgot to tell you guys the perfume I asked for Valentine's Day. I have been wanting Diptyque's Eau Rose, specifically the EDT version, for the longest time, and so I have asked my husband for a bottle of that. I also really want the hair mist, and if you're watching, I want the solid perfume too, but I would be happy with just the bottle of perfume too. That would be great. I just think that Diptyque's Eau Rose is the prettiest, classiest, just pink, dewy, fresh, crisp, green rose that I've ever tested. So if you're a fan of the original Chloe, if you love, you know, Melrose Place by, I think, is it pronounced Way? And you just want something even more like dewy and realistic, then Diptyque's Eau Rose, I think, is perfect for that. And it's not super long lasting, but I'm okay with that. You know, I have all kinds of fragrances in my collection that have different performance levels. So a lighter wearing fragrance is okay with me, but I would love to layer it with the hair mist and also with the solid perfume, and use the hair mist and solid perfume to layer with other rose fragrances in my collection. Yeah, I am hoping for a bottle of Eau Rose for Valentine's Day. Okay, that's it, guys. Those were my recommendations for Valentine's Day, either to wear or to ask for a gift. Go out to the stores, test them, let me know what you think about them, and what would be your recommendations for Valentine's Day. You know, are you more of a musk girl or a woody girl, or do you like these sweet candy, berry, rosy perfumes like I do? Whether you have plans for Valentine's Day to go on a date, or you're hanging out with girlfriends, or you're just gonna hang out at home And you know what I love to do is watch Pride and Prejudice and eat a bunch of chocolate and pour myself a glass of rosé. My husband and I usually don't go out for Valentine's Day, but he'll let me, like, I choose what I want to do at home for our at-home date night. So that's probably what we'll be doing. Pride and Prejudice is my comfort movie for sure. That and The Lake House with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves. That movie gets a lot of hate, but I love that movie, and it's a comfort movie for me. I'll probably be watching one of those and sitting on the couch wearing one of these perfumes. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys, and I will see you in the next video.